What's going on, people? How you doing? My name is Dr. Sami Baya. Please welcome back to my channel. How to make a narcissist miserable. That is the title of today's episode. Number one, lack of acknowledgement. They depend on constant approval to maintain their sense of intrinsic worth. To achieve this goal, they absorb or steal the energy of other people to feel good about themselves. Any form of attention gives the narcissist the incentive to keep going. It gives them the motivation to keep proving themselves. In fact, they often like negative attention better. A lack of acknowledgement is a real threat. To a narcissist, they'd rather you have a negative opinion than have no opinion at all. Narcissists can't stand when no one is paying attention to them. They don't know how to feel important or special if they aren't the center of attention. If they aren't the center of the universe or consuming someone's thoughts, they don't know how to feel important or special without that. How to make a narcissist miserable. Number two, you can make a narcissist miserable when people speak factually. So when you speak in facts, instead of using emotion, they intuitively understand they have less of an upper hand. Therefore, they hate when someone challenges them with facts instead of emotion. They will usually retaliate with more arguing or hysteria. This childish response simply shows that they feel out of control. They are not skilled in the language of facts because they are always lying and hiding things. So speaking factually throws them completely off balance. How to make a narcissist miserable. Number three, authority. Narcissists detest authority. That's because they resent having to answer to anybody but themselves. Any sense of authority threatens their inherent desires for power and control. Number four thing to make a narcissist miserable: being told no. Of all things a narcissist hates, being told no and actually following through with it tops the list. Narcissists are used to manipulating and whistling their way into getting what they want. Often, they'll pull all the stops to accomplish this task. They spent their whole lives charming people to meet their needs. They never stop to think about how your feelings impact the dynamic. That's why telling the narcissist no and being adamant on your stance often causes such an angry reaction. A narcissist isn't just upset about the denial. They are downright confused by it. Number five thing to make a narcissist miserable is to implement consequences. Have you ever tried to set a boundary with a narcissist? How well did it go? Most likely you tried to implement a limit and they reacted in one of three ways. And the first way is dismissing you altogether and gaslighting your feelings. Two, acknowledging their mistake, promising to change, and then doing nothing to change. Three, reacting with intense rage, threats, or even physical violence. Narcissists can't accept any real consequences. They can't see when they are wrong, and they can't understand how someone would ever think they are wrong. And even if the narcissist understood this, they simply wouldn't care. As a result, they tend to react disproportionately to boundaries as a means to intimidate you and force you into compliance. Unfortunately, many people simply give up on trying to implement consequences with narcissists because they want to avoid a potential conflict. They surrender and dismiss their feelings. So how do you make a narcissist miserable? Number six is through losing at anything. A certain few scenarios may occur. They repeatedly proclaim the person in charge was incompetent. That is the boss or referee. They'll say is incompetent. When they lose, they'll say they'll attempt to defame or humiliate the winner. When the narcissist loses, they pretend they didn't care about winning. When the narcissist loses, they insist that they let the other person take the spotlight. When the narcissist loses, they refuse to accept that they lost and awkwardly act as if they are the actual winner. How to make a narcissist miserable? Number seven is through public humiliation. The narcissist, public humiliation is the ultimate form of defeat. How do you make a narcissist miserable? Number eight is through expectations of commitment. Most narcissists are terrible with commitment. Although they believe they deserve all senses of loyalty, they don't usually provide it themselves. As a result, when they get into relationships, they don't consider other people's needs. They are only accounting for their own emotions, impulses, and desires. How to make a narcissist miserable. Number 9, vulnerability and emotional expression. Narcissists often use cognitive empathy to feign interest in other people's emotions. Real emotional empathy means putting ourselves in someone else's shoes. We take on the feelings and experiences of the other person. Cognitive empathy, on the other hand, is far more insidious and manipulative. Cognitive empathy means tapping into someone's deep emotions and feelings. This tactic requires having an initial connection. Narcissists use cognitive empathy to gain entry into your vulnerability. They establish this sense of trust and rapport using false kindness and compassion. At the same time, they loathe vulnerability and emotional expression. They perceive it as a sign of weakness. Therefore, they use it to take advantage of you when your defenses are down. Narcissists can't tolerate people who actually live in reality. That's why you rarely see people with strong boundaries tolerating narcissists for very long. They recognize that the narcissist can't provide mutual respect, connection, or love. Number 11 way to make a narcissist miserable. Your own clarity. Above anything, the narcissist hates the idea that you might remember life before you met them. This concern is their greatest fear, and they'll engage in many manipulative tactics to prevent it from manifesting. Narcissists use love bombing to keep you captured and intrigued. They'll win you over with their charm and wit and cognitive empathy. They'll make you feel special in ways you've never felt before, all through the use of cognitive empathy, of course. But the narcissist never wants you to think for yourself. If you start doing that, they'll react. They'll attempt to break you down and sabotage you. They'll make you doubt your capabilities and question your motives. Their goal is to reprogram your mind, and they'll do whatever they can to maintain their preferred status quo. How do you make a narcissist miserable? Number 12, when you change the status quo. Narcissists hate change when it's out of their control. But when you stay with a narcissist, you remain in a defeating pattern full of resentment and frustration. If you're truly wondering how to make a narcissist miserable, the best way is to leave them. Anything else only feeds into their mind control games, which makes them believe they still have power over you. When you choose yourself over the narcissist by leaving the relationship for good, this is the most effective way to show them they no longer have you as their puppet on a string. So leaving the narcissist is the ultimate way to humiliate, outsmart, and overpower them. Walking away and living your life is the best possible way to get back at a narcissist. Let me repeat that again. Leaving the narcissist is the ultimate way to humiliate, outsmart, and overpower them. Walking away and living your life is the best possible way to get back at a narcissist. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you've not done so.